कहा ना, समर्पण माना, मेरा तो कुछ है नहीं, तन भी शिव यज्ञ की सेवा में है, मन कहीं जाता नहीं है, कोई न मित्र न संबंधी, न कोई, न पत्र न पोस्ट न टेलीफोन, पता भी नहीं कोई मरा या जिया। अभी पता पड़ता है कोई मर गया, कोई जिंदा हो गया, हमको पता भी नहीं कोई मरा है, कोई जिंदा हो गया। ऐसी लाइफ अगर न बनाई, मैं भी तो मर जाएंगी, आप मरे, मर गई दुनिया। हमको पता है, जैसे गरीब लौकिक बाप का भी टेलीफोन आया, सीरियस कंडीशन है, अच्छा शरीर छोड़ दिया, अच्छा फिर क्या करने का है? सब हमारे मुंह में देखें, क्या करेंगे? अच्छा भाई हॉस्पिटल जाएंगी, जरूरत क्या है? बाबा की याद में रहे, मेरे सामने क्या करेगा? मैं उसके सामने जाएंगे क्या होगा? ऐसा अगर अभी तक भी ऐसी स्थिति नहीं बनाई है तो सोचो तो सही है? हमारी अंत मतें क्या होंगी? सत्युग से लेकर कलयुग तक हमने तो 84 जन्म लिए हैं। पर सोचना ये है किस स्मृति में लिया है, जन्म लिया है, शरीर छोड़ा है। हमको अपनी बात करें, हर एक इंडिविजुअली, मैं इंडिविजुअली हर एक से जैसे बात करें, हर एक इंडिविजुअली ये सोचे। मुझे अंदर से गारंटी उठती है बड़े प्यार से, 84 जन्म, अंतमतें अच्छी हुई होंगी, गारंटी है। तभी अभी अंतमतें का ही ख्याल रहता है, कोई और बात याद ना आए। कोई कई बार अंतमते जैसी स्थिति हो, अंत घड़ी जैसी स्थिति शरीर की आती है भैया विचार, फिर कोई डॉक्टर याद ना आए, कोई किसकी याद ना आए, कोई सेवा कभी याद ना आए, कोई फलानी नहीं याद आए, असर आती नहीं है। ऐसे हर रोज जो कुछ काम होगा बता के सो जाएंगे, चलो पूरा पूछेंगे कल क्या होगा, अच्छा देखा जाएगा।
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. Today's day 6, Diamond Dadi. Charitable soul, truly honest. Honesty. Now we'll be listening to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Diamond Dadi, many facets of Dadi. We are thinking about flawless diamond, and that only comes through honest heart. Entity I as a soul, I am conscient, and mind within this entity, which consistently function. There is not a single moment that there won't be any thoughts. Of course, now we know how to put full stop, or through power of purity have silence. But otherwise, there are constant thoughts. Thinking doesn't stop. So that is why Manan, Man is mind and thinking in the mind. No, this is about generally also mind will be thinking anyway. But when we get knowledge, and that knowledge has to be changed into powers and virtues, it cannot happen without manan, without churning. So what we are talking about are Dadi's qualities. And all those qualities were so natural in Dadi. It's not once in a while she's generous, charitable, other times she doesn't think I have to do anything for anyone. Her virtues were so natural, consistent for all because of her power of churning, contemplation. Because when there is knowledge and you reflect, you churn on knowledge deeply, it's changing into power and changing into light, changing into virtues. So, how important for each one of us to churn whole day because mind has to work anyway. So, why should there be unnecessary thoughts or waste thoughts? Why not? I gain power and feel inculcation and dharana is very natural by churning, by manan. Manan is what is going on in the mind, is always some aspects of knowledge, some of the praise of Baba, some deep reflection on the definitions of yoga. So when there is constant uh, contemplation or churning, then mind becomes pure, then there is always elevated thoughts, or as I said, that dharana or virtues become natural. So manan is a very, very important habit. I'm calling it habit because more you do it, more you want to do it continuously. So when anyone looks at you, what we found with Dadi, whenever we went, she just wants to share knowledge all the time. Many times I will go for a few moments. Oh, don't go. We haven't gone deeply into our sharing. We haven't done yet our chit chat. Like she was ready with some, bringing some different aspects of knowledge and some beautiful sharings. And Chintan is deeper in the sense of then you are very, very deeply reflecting on, which is bringing more self realization. But both Manan and Chintan is kind of purification, purity of thoughts, purity of intellect, purity of your memories from the past. So today I was really thinking that she became flawless diamond through churning, reflections, checking and changing, natural transformation, purity, all that was the result of that is Manan Chintan. Because whatever she was natural and consistent. Because if I'm trying to do once in a while charity, care, but not that nature of care, but her nature was of those qualities. It became like her nature because of Manan Chintan and changing them. So changing Manan Chintan into our virtues. That's what I was reflecting as one of the facet of Tari Janki. So she became flawless. That means not even any waste thought. Forget about negative, but not even waste. And from this love, care, and charity, because deeply, if you really want to feel the need of someone and to be available, to provide or be present, be cooperative, all this is part of your care and charity. It only could happen when there is honesty. And honesty is a quality which begins with the self. Because I have to be honest first with my own self by becoming detached observer and looking at removing from within. If we have any grief, if we have any feelings of revenge, or if there is any kind of pain or anything towards anyone, even if someone has done something to you which is not true or didn't believe you or some misunderstandings there, and there is subtle sorrow there of that. So we have to remove all that, clean all that. And with honesty, I will be able to see it, but I want, because elevated thoughts, pure feelings towards everyone. So I will clean it. Because one of the important aspects of charity also is forgiveness. Because you don't look at that person, what that person has done, but your interaction with that person is still of lot of love. Because each one of us, we are Baba's children, and I see each one as a set of Yagya. We are wealth of Yagya. So we take care of each other so that we can all be well. Whatever way we need help from each other. And very true natural feelings of love emerges. And from there, I want to just forgive, not remember anyone's mistakes. So to clean my heart and to be honest with my own self, I have to be detached observer of myself. Otherwise, I always think it's because of someone or something. But when you are honest, then you realize that I have some sanskar in me that I feel that way all the time. There is abundance of love and care, but someone is always hurt. I don't think I am loved. I don't think I get care, even if there is abundance. So what is there? From somewhere past, some experience, sanskar, which makes you feel like that. So I have to change that. I have to transform so that I can receive God's love, love from ancestor souls, love from all the souls. And when I feel it, then I can also give, right? I feel I'm so much loved by Baba. So it's easy for me to be loving, right? And everyone, Baba gives to everyone. In some way or other, it comes to you. That I have to receive that. I have to feel that. And then I have to give it. So all this, whether I am receiving or not, also needs churning, right? Reflection. Why I am not able to feel, but definitely if I am able to feel, then also that reflections. So habit of contemplation and reflection will enable me and increase my powers to receive and to give. And all that is honesty. Because honesty is not just, generally we see it with money dealing, but honesty is with everything. And especially with my time, my thoughts. So when I am honest, then very, very deeply full and carefree. I will always have, feel very full, and heart will be light, clean. Because in honesty, you don't hold anything. There's nothing I am holding for anyone. I could be very detached observer for the self and others. So contemplate and have reflections and experience one of your own flaws disappear and my own facets of diamond soul at diamond age keep increasing. So only not Dadi's facets of diamond, but each one of us also have to become diamond like Dadi. That's what she always wanted us to be flawless diamonds, sparkling diamonds, and jewels of Baba's eyes. Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Awake the Journey, Awake the Parivar Chit Chat, sharing from the heart that touches the heart. So today is Saturday, so we have our dear brother with us, Brother Eric. So welcome, Brother Eric.
Om Shanti, dear Mohini Didi. Om Shanti, everyone. So nice to be in this atmosphere in remembering Dadi. I was really enjoying the lovely chit chat from the heart you had with Jayanti Didi today, and it was very unique. Mohini Ben. I was wondering, how can we do not to be so emotional when we think about Dadi? It was very touching. And of course, many of us, when we watch Dadi's sharing, even myself, there's all kind of things happening sometimes. And I saw myself quite emotional this week. And today, when Sister Genti was really feeling something, I think it was a very beautiful scene in Zoom Dham with everyone pulling out their tissues. And I think half the group was moving and then putting their eyes. Some were turning off the camera, so we couldn't see them. So it seems like we have lots of emotion. What do we do with those emotions when they come?
I learned from Brahma Baba when even Dadi Janki, their eyes were never, always moist, even when they will meet us. And you could see that sparkle of love and, all that, whatever in the eyes, the moistness. There was so much deep love. But one time the Baba was saying, and that deep love is there, in the sense of feelings, emotions, but they should not roll out. And I used to look at Brahma Baba that his eyes has this twinkle, kind of tears, but it's not like it's somewhere that deep joy and what we achieved. And so they are really more emotions of joy and happiness. And so, yeah, I am able to contain them until into my eyes. And And then Baba used to say, okay, every drop which comes out of your eyes, Baba used to say they become the pearls because they are of happiness, they are of true love. And for Jayanti Ben, because since childhood, Dadi was like in her life as Lokek, because her family was connected with Dadi since childhood. And I also for 60 plus years, and so I got so much from Dadi. Really, I can't describe because words are very limited to describe that what she made all of us, what we were. Even she feels that yes, we had a specialty. So emotions, we have to keep it. They are good, in the sense of it's, there is purity in that, there is love in that. So one can do whatever way one wants to. And that's why we gave Jayanti Ben few moments. Let's her, it's okay, no, to be expressive in the family. Where else you will do that?
I
So,
found you were very, very graceful and gentle and kind. And I wish next time I want to cry, I want to be in front of you so you can give me that that feeling I can handle the emotions.
When Dadi Janki was leaving London first time, and so Jayanti Ben and myself, so we were coming back from airport in train, and she was crying all the time. And I said, Jayanti Ben, we can't do this, no? And it's not that I was very old. I was 37. She must be. She's 10 years actually younger than me. And I said, no, we have to be strong. And because I don't know, when I used to leave Madhuban and they will play a song, Decoration of God's Home is Leaving, and very emotional. But I didn't cry because, of course, what Baba taught me, but because I found that after that you are kind of sad and heavy and headache. And so did I always, tell myself, you're not going to cry. But of course, there are very, very love increases, I think, and good feelings also.
Mhm. But I feel there's today I was reflecting and I was really touched, with Sister Genti opening up and the fact you mentioned this is okay, we're in a family. I thought it was very sweet that, we're amongst ourselves. And what I found was that since the beginning of, this pandemic, and we are watching all these videos now more and more of the Yagya, the Dadis, and it's like we're revisiting every moment of the Yagya with a new thinking and new consciousness. And I really feel that one thing you mentioned a long time ago, that we all have a little Yagya in our heart. And I really feel that this moment we're living together in a family is like we're really like in this Betty, all of us, the little kittens in the furnace, and the flame of the Yagya is burning. And it's giving a chance to everyone to belong to the Yagya. Like when even Sister Genti was feeling her emotions, I think we all felt the closeness to Dadi and the love for the seniors. So maybe there's a secret in revisiting all these videos. And those who haven't met Dadi, I'm sure we're meeting her now through those videos. And even for me, I didn't remember Dadi because I was there in 84, 85. I couldn't remember her being so puppy, we got used to her being a little bit slower. But now I remember, I said, that's true. She had so much energy, it was incredible. So it's good we're revisiting. And I think we all feel the Yagya is a flame in our heart burning so beautifully. But I really appreciate the way you're holding us and holding our emotions in the process at the same time. It's a beautiful moment.
Everything is being reignited. And that is why I tell everyone to attend evening Parivar sessions, not because of necessarily talks, but some one or two, of course, many experience those who, it's not question of listening. Sometimes some say, oh, I had been listening while walking and doing things around, but it's experiencing. Those of us who are part of it are really experiencing. And I still had been kind of requesting, because I don't want to say, no, everyone should attend, everyone. But I feel it's very valuable to allow the students to attend evening session for an hour. May not be all the time, but because it's lot of deep changes are happening, clarity is happening, purification is happening. Those who are becoming part of them, the program. But there are some, they just are busy still with their classes at the same time. And I tell, well, do classes until 7:30, but then come for an hour, 7:30 to 8:30. Because I feel it's really very valuable to be part of these evening sessions, and the way, and so interesting that all the Kanyas are doing it. So I thought Kanyas have their own purity and young age, now they belong to Baba. So lot of love and that purity in the whatever they're producing is also amazing. But it's only when we sit together, the real experience comes. And it's essential at this time. Otherwise, we are still running around with our mind intellect and not seeing what we will have to do. When you all will read Murli tomorrow morning, so Baba is saying that you all will have to be, people will come, there will be long queues, and they will want some help. So you all have to be master, remover of sorrows, and bestower of happiness. And for that, your purity should change into completely being free from sorrow and peacelessness. And if you are there, your face is cheerful, and you will serve. You will just give blessing to everyone. So when you all will read only tomorrow morning, which I happened to read in Hindi this morning, is amazingly Baba knows what time is what we need at this time. Baba is like present. Hospitals will be full. There will be no cure for diseases. There will be limits in doctors, and doctors will be very busy. All that Baba is saying in the Murli. And today that's what is happening exactly. So I think we all have to together with lot of love and carefully read Murlis, prepare ourselves for coming time. Otherwise everyone says, what will happen? Thursday Baba said, what will happen? You know what is happening. What I have to prepare myself is really coming in Murlis very clearly. So this whole Yagya thing also, as you said, some secret is there that we are able to be part of it and cultivate, and then we will be able to inspire others, no? By telling someone to do something nobody does. But if they look at something and get inspired, right, then you can't even stop them. So I think we have to kind of prepare. Baba is giving us this time and opportunity, and
I've been.
that you are able to attend every evening. You are with us.
I wish I kind of missed a few, and then it's true that when I try to listen afterwards on YouTube, it doesn't do the same thing. We have to be really live. And tonight, when I was listening to Dadi, I really felt happy that we share with many who couldn't be there in '84 when we had classes in Om Shanti Bhavan. And I felt when Dadi was speaking, it was not just Dadi, but it was the whole Om Shanti Bhavan or whatever location where she is that came. And when we remember Madhuban, just being in Madhuban, there's such a strong energy from Madhuban, but I feel it comes through the videos. So it's really wonderful. I know we have less time. We have special guests now for this month. So I'll be missing my privileged time with you alone for half an hour. I have to share. But one little question that was on my mind. I don't know if I can ask you this, but you were mentioning about being a detached observer of the self. And my personal experience at the moment with soul consciousness is starting to see Eric as really a double foreigner for me, as Eric is becoming, oh, this is an interesting character. And I'm getting more and more detached from Eric. I was wondering, what's your relationship with Sister Mohini? How do you experience Sister Mohini, or what is your feeling when you're very detached as a soul? If I'm asking the soul and you see Sister Mohini, how do you connect?
I am able to smile at myself. I am able to kind of, okay, I'm happy with you. And oh, I congratulate you. I also have good wishes for you. So because it's all pleasant, and the way I pass situation, or like Baba saying, that change the atmosphere immediately from sorrow to happiness. So I keep giving good wishes to myself and keep telling myself you're doing well, and you have to pass with honor. And also time to time, whatever task has to be done in a subtle way, Physically, of course, we know what to do, but some of the things which are happening around us now, these very, very subtle sharing of power, sharing of love. So I keep watching myself and then keep looking where I am not able to do whatever is needed, and preparing myself with courage for future also. So I have good relationship with myself. So I am really, really happy and light about.
Well, thank you for sharing honestly. I was asking because I knew it will give us a model of how to have a good relationship with the self. So I'm sure we can now follow your example. So we have a special this month where every Saturday night we'll be hearing from you, but also we'll be inviting someone special to bring us Dadi's special memories and their experience with Dadi. So tonight we have a very, very dear sister, Judy from Peace Village. And, it's a lovely, yes. Oh, wow. This is called Close Encounter with someone from our heart. Welcome, welcome, Judy. So nice that you can be with us tonight. And I'm thrilled actually I just wish we could have an hour and not 15 minutes. Because, when I came to Gyan very quickly, every time I would see Dadi, I would see those three sisters always around her. And there was always you, there was always Wadi, and either Manda, Gayatri, but there was always those sisters. And I have to be honest with you, when I was young in Gyan, I just was thinking, I wish I could be a sister. So I had a gender issue, trying to think, can I be close to Dadi if I'm not wearing saris? So I didn't try wearing a sari in front of her to get close to her, but I'm glad you were always close to her. And same with Wadi and Gayatri, Mandaban, Aruna, all these sisters. So tell us, everyone had their special story with Dadi, but I was told that one of your story has to do with the way she wanted you to take notes when she speaks. Was that something around you being the scribe of Vedas and having to write down the knowledge that was imparted to the world? It's called Ganesh, by the way, this one.
Well, first, it's very nice to be with you and thinking about Dadi. It is, she is the big love in my life, actually. I always feel that it was Dadi who took me to God, and therefore I consider her to be my best friend. Dadi had lots of best friends because she loved everyone, but I really felt that without her, I don't think I would have come to know Baba. So it does make you a little tender. Also, I'm thinking Avyakti Parivar is like Dadi's parties. In the evening, she'd have night class, and there might be 30 of us sitting there, and suddenly there'd be mango for everyone. or ice cream for everyone. I mean, just that sweetness that Sister Mohini was talking about and being together. It's really very sweet. But on the writing, actually, the first time that this happened, I was in some big auditorium, and I want to say it was probably London. And I have my notebook with me, and I'm furiously taking notes. And she says from the stage, we are not to take notes. That Baba told her that she does not need to write anything down, and therefore we aren't to write anything down. So afterwards, I was really upset. And I told her, I said, Dadi, I don't have a mind like yours. I can't remember everything. And if you're going to say all these beautiful, truthful things, I have to write them down. So I was afraid she was going to be offended because I really pushed back pretty hard. And then she said, well, if you're going to write everything down, then it has to be service. You have to share it with everyone. So I never was in a room with her without a notebook the rest of my Brahmin life. I always had a notebook and a pen. I wrote down everything she said, and then I would send it around to just everybody. I would send it just big groups of people. I'd share whatever she had shared. And I still have. Today, actually, I was looking through some of those notes. So wise. When you hear you hear it one way when you're at a certain point, and later you go back and you realize she was saying something beyond what you could understand at the time.
Do you feel that habit or that duty in a way to take all these notes, did it bring you closer to her in a way, or do you feel that it gave you a chance to go deeper into her thinking and her way of sharing gyan?
Well, it did, but I think also she liked when you asked questions. It like when you asked her questions, if she came alive and she would then animate right around those questions. And I remember in 2014, she was really sick that year. And I went to India 5 times. And I remember one of the times I was in, I think she was in Mumbai. And I got there, and it was Hansa, and it was Ketan. It was just the people who were around her, right, Davy? And Hansa looked at me and she said, she needs someone to talk to. She needs a friend. You ask her questions. So I sat in front of her and I just asked her questions so that she would, because she was closing down a little from being, by herself. So sometimes it was just to spark her a bit. But what came out was so beautiful, so wise, so wonderful. And I would just furiously write, just page after page after page, just to capture all of it. And then the beneficiary was me, right? I would go back and pour through it and think, oh, so wise, so beautiful. And then try to share it, as widely as I could.
How has the way that your relationship evolved with Dadi? I mean, some of us, and some, I think, have seen Dadi as a powerful teacher, as an instructor, but not many went into, I wouldn't say the intimacy, but the closeness, where the relationship changes from one where you're observing from outside and making your own mind about who she is, to a relationship where you're in the inside, and actually literally sometimes in a room, any time of the day, and feeling that there's no more, Dadi on the stage as a senior, but more Dadi with a very, very personal relationship. Was there any time that something shifted in the relationship with her, between you and her, or was there any evolution? Was there a moment you felt, that's it, she adopted me, I'm okay now?
It was love at first sight for me. I mean, I loved her immediately and trusted her completely. And what I found about Dottie was a lot of times I think people held back. But if you came close to her, the door was open, you know? It wasn't like you had to be special to be invited in. I mean, I would knock on the door and I have a question, and she was always ready. And I saw that with others too. I don't feel, you know, I mean, I certainly felt that I had the luck of being in her presence a lot, but I felt that that door was open for everyone. And there were a couple times she said to me, "Why doesn't so and so come see me?" And I remember once going to get so-and-so and saying, come with me. And the person said, where are we going? I said, we're going to see Daddy. I didn't tell her because Daddy wonders why you haven't come. She really, her heart was open. And she, if you were making honest effort, she was completely patient. No question was a stupid question. One time I had to sell a house. I was a very new Brahmin. I had to sell a house. And I said to her, I had to sell the house in 2 months, and it was winter, and it was in Boston, Massachusetts, which no one tries to sell a house in January in Boston. I suppose it'd be the same in Montreal. But I had to sell a house. I said, what should I do? I need to get all the money out of it. She thought for a minute. She said, okay, here's what I want you to do. Don't make a big process here. Don't go find a realtor. She said, I want you to sit every morning and every night and meditate on liberation. I said, really? And she said, meditate on liberation and then mention it to a neighbor. It sold in 6 weeks at asking price. There was no question you couldn't ask her, however trivial or however huge. And that she would, if it was an honest question, if you were really, really trying to get at something, she would be right there.
I know you've seen Dadi's the magnitude of her heart and how she would be sometimes, to us crazy in a way, like how far will she go to please or to serve? Any example where you saw how incredible Dadi goes beyond time and space and body and everything just to serve?
I mean, that was just always who she was, right? Every airport, every talk. And the thing was too,
as you mentioned about this time when she decided to go and meet somebody, or I don't know, and go back and forth in a trip like on the same day, and something nobody will do normally, no?
Well, she made us do something in the same day. It was, and at the time I was like, I couldn't believe she was going to ask us. So it was in Ahmedabad, it was same year, 2014. I'd gone to see her again. This time she was in Ahmedabad, and I got there and there was Neville. And she was pretty sick. And so I would be in her room, and then it was too painful. I would come out of her room, and then I'd feel too far away. So I'd go back in. And then Neville said, well, let's go get a coffee. So we left, and we were going to fly home, each of us different directions, on Sunday morning. So Saturday morning, we went to see Dadi, and she was great. Suddenly she had recovered. She looked like she'd never had a bad day. She was totally vibrant. We sat in front of her. And she was so wise, she said to Neville, you're not from England. And she said to me, you're not from America. And then she's kind of doing this. And then she said to us, are you going to go up to Mount Abu? And we said, no, Dadi, we don't need to, because you're here and Averbai's here and Dadi Gulzar is here. We don't need to go to Mount Abu. And she said, what? She said, after all that place has done for you, you're not going to go up there? And then Hansa intervened, and she said, Dadi, it's Saturday. They fly on Sunday. They can't go. And Dadi said, Dadi's heart will be unhappy if you don't go. So the next thing we know, the car's packed. Nev's in the car, Alka's in the car, Jag, I'm in the car, and we're going to Madban. We drove 3 hours to get there, 3.5, got out of the car, looked around, and realized, of course, what were we thinking? We don't just go to see people. The place has magic, so, and no one else would have made that request, and I wouldn't have done it for anyone else, I don't think. I can't imagine. It was crazy, right? And then 3.5 hours back down and then to the airport, basically. But I realized that she was trying to get us to understand something, just see the value of the place and not to just run off. So everything she did, I learned everything.
I remember that story you told me when we were driving together from Madhuban to Ahmedabad. Let's see if we can bring Sister Mohini back with us for a few moments. And we'd love to have her insight into, listening to you and, of course, knowing how Dadi has been working on us, I think we've been almost, uh, kind of her laboratory sometimes. And I know she has been, now we're extracting the nice part when she is so sweet, but I know she pushed us into many thinking and doing. So I'm wondering if Mohini Didi would have any thoughts on how is Sister Mohini watching Dadi working on us? Were you sometimes seeing Dadi working on us and thinking, I don't know, she can change these ones, or what can she do with them?
I think that Dadi knew that we are the ones, the way we are receiving, we will be one day able to share with others. So I think she always looked at everyone as an instrument who will serve unlimited number of, whether within Brahmin family or contact souls or world in general. So I think that her vision towards each one of us, serving in an unlimited way, made her constantly keep us giving, giving, giving all the time. And it's not, as I was saying, because her capacity, her churning was such that she has unlimited to share every time. Judy used to spend a lot of time, but I will not spend a lot of time somehow or other. And every time I'm leaving, oh, we didn't have enough chit chat. You never chat much with me because I talk, but it's not I talk a lot. So she said, okay, next time. It's like whatever she did, needed by us, and with big heart, because she knew that time will come, we will have to give, we will have to share. So that's why we have enough stories, enough experiences that we could share with our family here.
Were you touched sometimes seeing souls like Judy or Wadi, or those that you've seen from their beginning in their Brahmin life, and seeing them coming closer to Daddy must be a very nice feeling for you also, to see Daddy with those souls that from the time they were babies.
Yeah, because I find that younger generations, if they receive whatever we have received, will be very valuable. And so I used to appreciate, and as Judy said, that it used to like Wadi also, because she will ask a lot of questions. All four of you, four used to have a lot of questions. And it's like whatever she had, uh, when you ask questions, it's like digging from deep within, and she comes out very nicely. Even in Harmony House, Gyan Sarovar, she will call Manda or Wadi, someone to come and ask questions when she is taking class. So I think that is both ways. They were receiving and Dadi was also enjoying. So yeah, I used to feel happy. Anyone, if they can go close to Dadis and receive, so I will have less work to do on them, right? And they also used to come and share with me a lot of points, and Dadi used to say to Judy, immediately send what you wrote to others. So we used to get those points also regularly. I mean, I don't know, sometimes out of words to describe what Dadi was. Any moment you think of her, so many beautiful things emerge. I think today I was thinking that are we remembering Baba or only Dadi? And I said, because she followed Brahma Baba, it's easy for us to follow her, especially those who never really saw Brahma Baba. So, but then she's the one who constantly reminds us of Baba. That's another thing. So we're not remembering her, but she's also bringing us closer to Baba and also to Yagya. Her love for Yagya was so immense. In
Thank
London,
you.
in London in the beginning, because she had so much love for Yagya. So those days, some of the things like the sari which I wear was 2 pounds, and only you could get those saris in London. So she will tell whole class to put 2 pounds, so I can send 20 saris or 30 saris. There was something else I don't remember, was some woolen things for 2 pounds at that time. So she said to everyone, just put 2 pound everyone, and then she will get 40, 50, and that will go to Madhuban. I saw her doing, or every time Baba came, she from London, she will say Brahma Bhojan for all. And this year she is not here, so I told Muni Ben, I want to do Brahma Bhojan, which Dadi used to do every day, every time Baba comes. So I try to send so that they can do Brahma Bhojan. And so, like, she left such beautiful sanskars of how to serve the family, be part of the family. So many, many beautiful things. So she's bringing us closer to Yagya and of course to Baba, and also reminding us our last moments of the journey. And we should be prepared where no attachment, only remembrance of one. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Yes, we do have our beloved Bab Dada, and it seems we have also our beloved Bab Dadi, so we're combined and enjoying our presence. It's a sweet Bab Dadi. So thank you, Bo. Thank you, Judy, for joining us, and Mohini Didi, of course, always so many more questions. So I'm good, and I'm learning that if I keep asking questions, I'll get closer to you. So I have plenty of questions. I have plenty more for the rest of the month. So thank you both, and good evening to everyone, and Big Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Eric.
Om Shanti. Thank you very much. We all enjoyed a lot. Thank you, Brother Eric, Sister Judy, and our Didi. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now it's time for our Manan Chintan, the art of churning. So today I'm inviting our sister Gayatri to help us with our Manan Chintan point. Welcome, Sister Gayatri.
Thank you. That was very beautiful. And you could have taken my time as well with the interview. I was getting so engrossed in it. And just before I share the point today, I just want to reflect on something that I think connects us to this point for churning. And when Judy was saying that Dadi would, of course, once she found out that Judy captured everything she was saying almost verbatim in her notebook, she realized that here is a companion, here is a true friend of her, the intellect of the wise, that can capture what she was saying and then send it to the world. But what Judy didn't say, and I thought was very fascinating, was that as she would write whatever Dadi was saying, one of the things she had to do was she had to first give a draft of what she had captured in her notes, and she had to give it to Dadi, and Dadi would then read it, and then Dadi would tell her, now send it out. Now that must have gotten easier as Dadi was getting weaker in the body, but I remember she would read every single word. And then she would say, okay, now send it. So that was another kind of deep, interesting reflection for me in Dadi. And that is, she took the time to read something in English, which was not her first language. And she was able to know and see whether Judy captured the essence of what she was conveying through those words. And that for me was an amazing thing to do. And so the other aspect of that was that therefore anyone who stayed anywhere close to Dadi had to be ever ready, because sometimes she would say, you would get a call, come right down, come right now, I want to see you right now. And then you would say, Dadi, now I've already changed, put a shawl around you and come. And so whenever she had the inspirations, she would call. And so you had to be ever ready to answer that call. So today, tomorrow, actually, we'll be looking at this churning of hers, or this diamond facet, and it is to be truly honest. So let's see the slide. Right, to be truly honest, I need to see myself as an observer. This helps me to see myself clearly and to go beyond all hurt and grief. So now, if we look at this at two levels, one is when she would read whatever Judy had written to her, I'm sure that she was really looking at herself through those words of what she has said as a detached observer. And I think that this must have been something that I don't know if she intentionally was aware of it, but deeply in her, it must have been some recognition that here was someone capturing what she says, giving it back to her, and she was now looking at it as a detached observer. And the second thing, I feel that Judy again said this, and I think it's going to be very good for us to take it into the churning of this point. And that is when she was selling her property. And Dadi said to her, now I want you to go and I want you to reflect on liberation. So to see oneself, to be truly honest with oneself, and to see oneself as a detached observer, if I were to also reflect on liberation, then I will be able to see clearly what it is I have to go beyond, whether it's hurt or grief or attachment, in order to get something done. So please take these aspects with this point and take it into your churning. Now, is there an expressive slide of Dadi to go with this point? Oh, but she almost looks exactly like Baba. So she's really there in her detached self. And so when she became a detached observer to herself, and to be truly honest with herself, she would look at Baba. She would look into the mirror, I suppose, of Baba's eyes. And she looks so much like him. She pops a man for her. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Yeah, this is truly very special. I don't think I can hold it. It's made from a kind of what they call it, roots, ground roots, and it's cassava. It's like sweet potato, and it's from Caribbean mostly, and it's some of you buy in West Indies shops. So it's made from cassava. It's baked. I don't know the name of it, but it is very, very tasty. I was thinking of that, and then one of the sister was able to make it. It's very tasty. Right? I can only show you, but I guarantee you, if you make it, you might have to get recipe. You will enjoy it. Om Shanti. Baba always says we every day we get to prepare ourselves to be ready to serve for my own journey. So taking any thought from Dadi, and especially she said, be ready for the last moment. Consider everything, every moment to be last, and be free from attachment. Every moment as my last moment and free from attachment. Om Shanti. Hmm? Pune. They're saying the name of the toll is Pune. Someone from Caribbean told her it's Pune.
Okay, so now we'll remember Baba and take this different beauty.
Yeah, I see sisters swinging with happiness, joy, with all attainments. So Om Shanti. Good night, everyone, and see you all tomorrow. Om Shanti and good night.